Hi, Jeremy here. Good to be with you. Hope everything is going well for you guys wherever you are watching this. We just wanted to update you in regard to where we are at with our service structure, what the thinking kind of is behind it, and also wanted to explain what we're going to do for our sermon series as the key one going forward in this term. So I'll start off with Greg here as fellow elder and been part of that decision making process. Greg, do you want to describe what's happening with our service structure?
Yeah, cool. So there's obviously been a lot of thought going into how we get together typically on a Sunday morning, and what that looks like in this kind of complicated red light system. So there's been a lot of conversation going on in the leadership and also in the management team here at church. So this is where we're sitting at the moment. We're holding this pretty lightly because things change and adjust, and everyone's a little bit uncertain, but we want to give some certainty, especially in the short term. So what we're heading towards, so there will be a service at church here on Sunday morning at 9:30. We'll be limited to 100 people and will be vaccine passed. That'll be continuing as it has been for a while. There'll also be a 4 o'clock service, which is what we've been running for the last few months, which won't be vaccine passed. That'll be limited to groups of 25. And that will be being run in the afternoons. And then we're also going to do an evening service at 6:30, which will be vaccine passported as well. And that's going to be in the chapel. And we're going to just try some different things there in terms of how the service works. Obviously, there's some real benefits to having small groups of people in terms of 100. And there's also some other things that don't work as well. So we're just going to try some things there. And that'll be at 6:30 on a Sunday evening. We are still going to be having a live stream, and we know there's a group of people in our church who are really keen to still have a live stream service. So that'll be happening from the morning service at 9:30 and can be watched later. And there may be some opportunities moving forward for some other groups as well, some extra gatherings, kind of depending on how things kind of end up unrolling. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. So we've got a 9:30 service, which is vaccine passported, a 4 p.m. service that's open, and then a 6:30 service in the chapel that's going to be vaccine mandated as well.
Okay, all right. So there'll be some differences between, obviously, the different ways people can interact with a service. Maybe what's the thinking in regards to 9:30 being in the Audi and 6:30 being in the chapel?
Yeah, so the 9:30 service is going to be quite similar to how we've normally done it. So for those of you who really enjoyed that kind of service, with maybe a larger band, obviously the live stream happening, that sort of thing. The 6:30 service, as I said, we're going to try a few different things and maybe a little bit more interactive, a little bit more participation from the whole group. Again, we're holding that pretty lightly and trying to figure out how that might work. And so if that's maybe something that you might be interested in getting together and doing things maybe a little bit differently, we're just going to try some stuff there.
Okay, all right, cool. It's exciting. So in terms of sort of resourcing it, the idea with these 5 different options of the way to do it is we want to create it in a way that people can pick stuff up and know what is happening ahead of time. So at the end of each week, there'll be some resourcing put out that we'll talk about. It will include the video of the sermon. You can pick it up and run a service in your own home. You could get a group of people in your home during the week or even on Sunday morning and run a service and have someone do a prayer and someone do the Bible readings, and those would be pre-prepared with it. So there's a real chance for people to be able to experiment and do some different things with it, which we want to open up and give people the chance of exploring how that is done and resourced in a particular way. So the other side of resourcing is for the kids. So Karen Hopkins will be putting together a resource each week that will be used in the services, but will also be able to be picked up by anybody to be able to do it with your kids. So you could do it as a parent with your family, or get a group of kids together and be able to do that. And that will be available each week to be able to do that.
And one of the things that we've kind of some guiding principles that we've been working on during this time, we want people to really to be present and gathering together. And we know that's been difficult. So we want to give opportunities for people to do that. We also want people to be, even though we are socially distancing, we want people to be present with each other and proximate, so close to people, because we feel that's been lacking a little bit. We want to give people opportunities to participate as well. So as Jeremy mentioned, in smaller groups, whether you're reading or doing the prayer or those sort of things, maybe in the evening service or even in the morning service, just getting people opportunities to participate. And just exploring some different possibilities. We really want to just try some different things. As I mentioned, the smaller groups, although there are some things that we lose, there's actually some things we gain as well. So we just want to explore those possibilities. And one kind of overbearing thing that we really want to focus on is just that idea of being patient with each other, patient with our church community, and being in peace. And so we know that these differing groups is difficult, and it's not what we're used to, and all those sorts of things. But we're called to unity, and we really want, regardless of what service you end up at or where you feel that you and your family need to be, we really want there to be peace and to have patience with those other people who are in our congregation.
It's good lot of P words there, Greg. Well done. Another element we just want to talk to you about is this year we're going to celebrate Lent together. And we'll talk quite a bit about Lent and why we're doing it and what it actually is. A number of you will have heard of it, but it might be a bit of a mystery to you. But a big part of it is that it's an activity that we can all participate in together. And we did a little bit last year. We didn't call it Lent, but we did a prayer and fasting group together. And it was really encouraging for a lot of people, just knowing that there was all sorts of other people getting the same little devotion, passage of scripture, prayer on the same day together, fasting, praying. So we're going to do that again. We're going to wrap it around this historical tradition of what is called Lent in the Christian church. And so watch out for the opportunity to sign up for that. We're just looking at the way we do it. It'll probably be by text messaging, so you'll get something each day, but we're looking at other ways of how we can interact with it. And it looks at the spiritual formation, classic practices of prayer and fasting and giving, reading of the word, and we do it as a lead up to Easter. So the main part of the Christian calendar is remembering Christ is our focus and what he did for us at the cross and the resurrection. So this is an opportunity that, because we can't all gather in the same time and space in a service, we can still be together in our practice of what we are doing and being spiritually formed by one another. And so really looking forward to the opportunity for us to do that going forward. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So just to wrap up, quick summary. There's 5 options for doing church kind of together. There's at 9:30 in the Audi. There's 4 p.m. Open service, which will be outside at the marquee at this stage. 6:30 in the chapel. All of those will have kids things and stuff as well. They're all family friendly in that kind of sense. There'll be teachers who will be taking stuff to do with the kids. There's the ability to watch it live stream, and we know that people who are isolating will have to do that, but others who aren't able to kind of get to church, and so we're looking to upgrade in some sense that live stream to be able to make that more of an interactive activity to be able to involved in, and then explore the opportunities for extra gatherings that you can pull together and do in other places and spaces as well. So if you have any questions, flick them. Probably the best one is any one of the elders, but certainly me as an elder as well, but also Julie McKenzie as one of the ops managers. Flick a note if there's a particular question that you have or comment that you want to make, that would be cool, or questions that you have, that would be great.
Just one question, Jeremy, then about the 9:30 and the 6:30 service. There will still be registrations for both of those?
Yeah, so it's definitely for the 9:30 and probably for the 6:30. We're just looking about how we do that. Hopefully you can just go to one place and then book either or, but we're just exploring the nuts and bolts. You'll get an email very shortly on that. Can you go to both as a question that sort of sits there? There'll be pressure on the 9:30 kind of one. So our preference is to open it up and that people didn't go to both at this stage. But We'll wait and see what that kind of rolls out. But our preference is at this stage just to choose one of them, and we'll see where the pressure points are that are sitting with it.
Sounds good. So you're really looking forward to everyone kind of engaging in those services, and bearing with us all as we kind of work through the practicalities of it and all that sort of thing. But we want people together and we want people engaged. So any questions, just feel free to let us know.
No, thanks, Greg.